Hi everyone, so today I want to show you the 5x7 version of my framed half hexagonal pop-up box card. So this is the 5x7 version. It folds flat and it fits in an envelope for a 5x7 card. The actual footprint is 5 by 6 3/4. It's not quite 7, but that's fine because it gives you a bit of extra space, and if you need to bulk it up or anything, then you're fine, you've got a bit extra there. It's just quite a nice card. There's lots you could do with it. You could add extra bits in, you could add extra struts in the middle there, make a little scene. There's lots of things you could do with this. You've obviously got space on the back to write your message. So for today's card I used navy card from Paper Mill Direct. The pattern cut paper that I've used is from Dovecraft Premium Winter Wonderland, and this was from 2018 I believe. So that's those papers. I really like those papers. And then there was also the decoupage pad. So I used this one here, which you can see on the front. So yeah, so that's what I used. So yeah, I'd had a request for the 5x7, which is why I did it. So I've done a 6x6, I've done an 8x8, and I've now done a 5x7. So I think I've well and truly done the framed half hexagonal card now. But anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so for this card, you're going to need a few bits. Now with this card, I've actually changed it up slightly, and I haven't done mats. Okay, so I have got no matte layers. It's literally base card. I've got two different types of base card, but I decided because the measurements were so small, trying to do a mat, it was just going to be difficult. So let's work our way through. So you're going to need a base card that is 4.5 inches by 5 inches. That's this one. And another one that is 6.5 by 5. So I'm doing width and then height. Okay, 6.5 by 5. Then you also need 2 strips, and these are also base cards, which are 1 inches by 10 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead and score these first, and then we'll move on to the pattern paper and what you need for that. Okay, so the 4.5 by 5, you don't need to score that, so that can just go to one side. Then the piece that is 6.5 by 5, along the 6.5 inch edge, you just want to score it at 1 inch and at 5.5 inches. Okay, and that is all you're going to do with that. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to fold those and make them into valley folds. Okay, so there's my valley folds. And then if you bring your strips in, both of your strips that are 1 inch by 10 3/4, both of these need to be scored at 7/8, at 2 inches, 4.25, 6.5, 8 3/4, and 9 7/8. Okay, so there's one done. I'll do the same on this one. Okay, so then on your strips, you just want to mounting fold them all. Okay, so if we bring this base piece back in again, we're just going to go ahead and add in one pattern piece. And this piece measures 4.25 by 4 3/4. So the highest bit is the height of it. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that in the middle here. Okay, so that's that bit. The other thing as well you need is 2 side strips that are going to go here and here. And these are 3/4 by 4 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead and put those on. Okay, so that's your inside piece done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our strips and start decorating these up. Now these are both the same, obviously, width, top and bottom. So you're going to need in total 6 pieces that are 2 inches wide by 3/4 high, and also 4 pieces that are 7/8 wide by 3/4 high. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, and these are all going to go on the top here, and then the little ones are going to go here. You don't need anything on these end pieces. It's just the middle 3 and the 2 little ones either side. So I'm going to go ahead and stick all of these down. Okay, so I've gone ahead and added all those strips on, as you can see. So now we're going to bring back our front piece. If you want to put anything on the back here, please go ahead and do that now. I decided to leave it nice and plain. So we're going to take our pieces. I think I'm going to have that at the top and that at the bottom. No, we're not. We're going to go that way around. And then we're going to turn both of them over, as we've done before. And then we're going to make sure that these line up along the bottom edge and that they're kind of central. And then when you fold this over, that crease line should line up with those 2 crease lines there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to stick both of these panels down either side onto the backing card. So we're just going to go ahead and do that now. Don't worry if you've got gluey marks on the back here, because we're going to be covering that up, so don't worry about that. So if we turn it over, there's your front section. Now obviously if you wanted to, you could add little things dingly dangling down, and I really should have done one by now, shouldn't I, with dangly bits, but I haven't, because you know I don't like dangly bits. Me and dangly bits don't get on. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to turn it back over again for the back, and we're going to go ahead and stick this piece, which is that 4.5 by 5. I'm going to go ahead and stick that on the back like that, just to cover up where we've put our tabs. Now when I did my 8 by 8 version, which you will see, you will have already seen it, or it's coming up soon, I'm not quite sure when this is going out, but you will see, or will have seen, that I missed off these little pieces on the end. So if you want to do that, you can, just like, you know, cut your mat a little bit smaller, your base card a little bit smaller. But I just sort of I quite like the fact it just makes it a bit more secure. But you don't need it. If you don't want to do it, you don't need it. You can probably get away without it. I just like the fact that it makes the back a little bit thicker, a little bit more secure, and like that. And then on top of that, I'm going to stick my white piece that I mentioned earlier. That's the same size as the internal pattern piece. So that's going to go on the back of there. And then we just need to stick these, cover these side pieces up. So I've got 2 pattern pieces that are 3/4 of an inch by 2 3/4, and they're going to go on the side there. Really, I probably should have gone with the stars paper again for this, because I sort of tried to make it so if I had the navy base, I had a bright pattern, you know, a paler pattern, and then where I had this starflake paper, I had the silver. But when I was planning it out, I thought to myself, well, it's sort of like a frame, so it needs to be the snowflake paper. But actually, it should have really been the star. But anyway, never mind. Okay, so that's that finished. So we're going to turn it over. And last but not least, we just need to stick our greeting on the front. So I've gone for this one, which is Winter Wishes. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little bit of acetate coming down from the back, just like that, and stopping there, and the same here. So what I thought I might do is actually just do, I mean, you could have it going all the way down, but then you'd have acetate showing through the window, and I thought I'd like to avoid. Okay, well, I went away to get the acetate and I forgot to press record again. So I've gone ahead anyway. So what I've done is I've actually just cut 2 little strips of acetate. I'm going to turn it around so hopefully you can see. So you can see I've just got one little bit there that I connected underneath here, and then onto the bottom of the sentiment, and I did the same up this end as well. So if you can see that. I thought I'd rather do that than having a big strip going all the way through, because I didn't want to be able to see it through these little gaps here. So yeah, so I went ahead and added that on. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So, but I've explained to you how you do it now, so you should be able to do it. It should be fine to do it. Obviously, you could add dingly dangly bits on if you wanted to. You could do all sorts with it. But yeah, so that's the finished card. It folds flat like that and fits in an envelope for a 5 by 7. The card actually measures 5 by 6 3/4. So it's you know, you've got a quarter of an inch to play with extra, which is good. So yeah, so that's the card. So I hope you liked it. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and we'll see you next time. Bye.